And welcome back, guys, to Katawa Shoujo. We have been introduced to our new classmates, Misha and Shizune. One's the class rep, and the other, I guess, is her official translator. She's got pink hair, and I don't know, do you think it's natural? Or is it dyed? Well, I guess we'll find out. But they're going to take us around the school and at least get us acquainted with what's going on. Still, we finished with a few minutes earlier than anyone else in the class, despite our late start. Shizune and Misha are really capable. Oh, probably open the window there, dingus. They're quite different, though. The class rep is as calm and professional as she looks, while Misha is a lot more playful and girlish, not to mention a little more easily distracted. To be honest, the two of them did most of the work. I feel guilty about that. The clock tower bell rings, signaling the end of the period. Time for lunch. Without knowing what else to do, I follow Misha, who is beckoning me into the hallway and down the stairs. We descend even below the lobby where I met Muto, down to the bottom floor. Just like everything in this school, the cafeteria seems too spacious and oddly modern in contrast to the classic exterior. Its big windows open to the courtroom towards the main gate. "It's the cafeteria!" Her enthusiastic statement of the obvious makes people around us stare, but Misha doesn't seem to care, so we proceed to the line. There's a rather long list of menu options, which seems great until I realize that many of them are to accommodate students who need special diets. How nice. It almost feels like I'm back at the hospital, eating portions measured with scientific precision to meet the needs of the patients. I pick something at random and follow Shizune to a table, sitting opposite of her. As I nibble indifferently at the food I'd rather not eat, Misha pokes me in the side to get my attention and points to Shizune. I don't understand signs, so the point escapes me. Maybe looking at a person who talks to you is proper and polite? "Do you want to know something?" "What?" "About anything. We're your guides, so you should ask if there is something." I wonder. Ask about the library, ask about Shizune's deafness. I think I got everything I need to know. Seems a little too targeting to go right for the deafness right away. Let's talk about the library. We like reading books. I don't need to say that I got everything I need to know. That's kind of standoffish. And, we're trying to make friends, right? We're trying to make friends. Let's ask about the library. Oh yeah. Is there a library in the school? Lately I've gotten into reading a lot, so I'd like to check it out. Misha gives the kind of frown that makes it clear that she doesn't consider reading a healthy hobby, but then picks up her smile again. "There is! It's in the second floor." Technically, wouldn't it be on the second floor, not in the second floor? I've never heard someone say the classroom is in the second floor. But technically, yeah. It's one of those things where I'm just used to hearing on, the second floor, where there's no grammatical problem with it being in. Because it technically is in the second floor. We can show it to you sometime. Thanks. I return to my food while the girls talk between themselves. Misha and Shizune sign back and forth very adamantly, throwing sideways glances at me, but Misha refrains from translating. Maybe they're still talking about secret girl stuff or something. Quickly notice a conversation in sign is not enough to fill a silence. We arrive in the classroom early, but we're not the first. The dark-haired girl I noticed before is slumped over her desk at the last row. But she jumps a little when Misha crashes into the room with the elegance of a rhino. She shrinks deeper into her seat. I thought she shrieked. I'm like, holy shit. Scared the shit out of her. I can feel her tension all the way from here, as if she were slowly turning into stone just from our presence. Misha and Shizune either don't notice or don't mind it, as they walk directly past her to their seats and begin to converse. I'm left wondering about her, even with the classroom slowly fills with other students and finally the teacher. Getting into the rhythm of school feels strange. It's as if my brain remembers how this is done, but my body doesn't. Towards the end of the class, I start yawning and counting the minutes left. I shouldn't be this tired on my first day of school. Maybe it's the long time spent in the hospital that made me like this. I'm even feeling physically weak and lifeless. Yeah, like, he has a heart condition, and if he doesn't get proper exercise and things like that, he could end up getting, like, really screwed up. But, like, you also have to worry about too much exercise because you can elevate your heart rate to, like, an unhealthy level. Like, heart conditions are probably one of the most scariest things to deal with. Like, and it's so invisible compared to other types of disabilities. Not saying that those types of disabilities are any way less debilitating, for example, right? Having it on the outside brings so many other problems to it. Like, even there when we were in the cafeteria, I was like, oh gosh, I'm kind of interested in Shizune's deafness, but I don't want to push on the very first day, though she's probably okay with talking about it. Because it's either set on by, I don't know, it could be like a birth defect, like she was just always deaf, or maybe it was an accident, or maybe it was just, something after the age of 2 or 3, which happens more than we realize. But anyway, before long, the final bell rings. School is finally over for the day. Sorry, I'm just gonna take a swig of my drink here. There we go. Just some nice Coke Zero to wash that down. Beside me, Misha and Shizune are having a short conversation. After a bit of deliberation, Misha turns to me. Unfortunately, we can't stay and show you around today, Hik-chan. We've got to hurry already, since there's a lot of work for us to do. You'll find your way around here, I'm sure of it. Wait, the teacher said I'd have to see the nurse. Where do I have to go?
Is that so? We can at least show you to that much. Come on, the nurses have their own building, so we have to go outside.
We join the flow of students making their way down the stairwell and outside, with the girls pointing out other senior classrooms in the same hallway as ours. When we get outside, the girls make their way to a smaller building right next to the school. It's built in the same style, so it looks like it's actually a part of the main building.
This is the auxiliary building here. There's a lot of official and important stuff inside, like the Yamaku Foundation's office, and all the nurses' offices. They even have a swimming pool.
How is that official?
Don't be silly, Hik-chan. It's for physical therapy, of course. Anyway, all the nursing staff facilities are in there too. The head nurse's office is on the first floor. You'll be fine from here, right? We'll be going then. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks. Bye. A whole building for stuff that has nothing to do with actual education. I guess it's necessary for a place like this. I walk in, hoping that this really will be only a quick visit, like the teacher said. On a white door on the left is a green cross with the text "Head Nurse" and a nameplate. A voice from the inside responds to my knock almost immediately, but I can't quite make it out. It sounds a bit like an invitation to open the door, so I invite myself further in. The room is not large, and it smells strange. A friendly-looking man turns around on his office chair to face me as I enter. His desk is neat and tidy, but the bin under the table is overflowing with used medical utensils, and there's at least a dozen coffee cups, rings, lingering on the desk. Hello there. What can I do for you today? He is young-looking and sort of rugged, but the dimples in his cheeks wash the impression away when he smiles. Are you the nurse? He smiles like a person who has heard this very same question hundreds of times. Why, yes I am. I say so, it says so on the door, no? You can call me by my name or just the nurse like everyone else. Of course, I shake off my confusion, realize I probably should grab his extended hand. His handshake is rather firm and friendly. Right, I'm the new student, and my homeroom teacher told me to come and meet you. My name is Hasao Nakai. His eyes light up with revelation, and he snaps his fingers. Oh, you're that Nakai. I was just reading your file in the morning. Some kind of chronic arrhythmia and related congenital heart muscle deficiency, right?
Bleh. Those big words. They make my tongue hurt.
He gestures me to sit down in a vacant armchair in front of his desk. Yes. Good. Well, you've probably been briefed about the school enough, so I'll just go over this quickly. We have all kinds of facilities available, mostly physical therapy and such. There's always someone from my staff around, even at night, so never hesitate to call us if there's a problem. The famous 24-hour nursing staff. Wow, this is like a hospital. Well, not exactly. For instance, we don't do brain surgery here. His joke feels so out of place that I'm left thinking why he even said it. Yeah, just that it's really weird to have so many medical people at a school. You'll get used to it. I'm not so sure of that myself, but I don't let the nurse know it. Now, let me just find your file again. While he searches for something from his computer and shuffles stacks of paper around, I let my gaze wander around the room. It's the epitome of generic, I'd like to say. Beige walls and ceiling, gray, laminate flooring, and all the equipment you'd expect from a school nurse's office. Even the ridiculous educational posters are hanging on all four walls, reminding me to eat properly 3 times a day and from all the food groups. Smiling, the nurse draws a thick file from a stack of similarly thick files and opens it. So, you've already had medication for the arrhythmia. Just remember to take your pills every morning and evening, or it won't be much help. Apart from that, do you do any sports? Rash stuff like, I don't know, boxing? He grins to his joke, but I don't. Well, I played soccer occasionally with some classmates. Alright, I'm afraid I'm going to have to recommend you refrain from doing that, at least for the time being. Oh? My lack of reaction makes him raise an eyebrow, but really, I'm not too bothered by him forbidding me to kick a ball around. I guess I never did it out of burning passion for the sport, just to have something to do. Any kind of concussion might be very dangerous to your heart. Risking another attack is not a good idea. Was the previous one caused by a sudden concussion to the chest area? There's no mention of the cause in your papers. Not exactly. I sidestep the question acceptably, and he glances at me over his papers with a more serious expression on his face. Still, you need to keep your body healthy, so some exercise would do you good. We have physical therapy and such available, as I said. But I don't think you really need such heavy measures. Just get some light exercise regularly. Brisk walks or even light jogging, jumping rope, that sort of thing. Swimming, maybe? There's a pool here. So I was told. You were? Very good. At any rate, I'm sure you've been told this before. You just need to take care not to overexert yourself. He wags his finger to emphasize the point. No need, really. I've heard this 1,000 times already. Absolutely no unnecessary risks. Take care of yourself. Does this mean no girlfriends? Because that can raise your heart level. I mean, that's what put me in this position to begin with. Okay. He goes over my papers one more time and sets them on the desk, obviously content. Good. That's it then. Come meet me if you ever need something. I'm ushered out before I even realize it. A quick visit indeed. I end up standing in front of the main building in the auxiliary building. Although to my eyes, they still look one and the same. It's the first real look I get at the other students, so I watch people coming out of the school, going towards the gate of the dorms. Everyone seems to know where they're going, and I still keep thinking that most of them don't look too special for being students at a special school. Then again, neither do I. Does that make me one of them? One of us? I should go somewhere too, to prevent me from getting lost. It's around dinner time, but I feel tired instead of hungry. The weariness in me only grows as I trudge towards the dorms, set a little ways apart from the main building complex. There's a garden of sorts between the school and the dorms, shrubbery, flowers, and that overbearing smell of fresh-cut grass that fills the atmosphere. It dawns on my tired mind that the smell feels novel because I haven't been outside at all for so long. The dorm building is big and made of red brick. Like the others, it feels way too pompous for what it is, so I push forward, going inside. It takes more time than necessary to fish out the key I was given from my pocket. Room 119. Despite the ornate exterior, the inside of the dorm is fairly new, functional, and boring. Just like in the main building, the halls and doors are wide to accommodate wheelchairs. The same goes for the elevators at the end of the hallways. I poke my head around the corner of the common room door. Inside, a few students are watching the television. One nods and gives a quick hello before turning back to the TV. Seems that only the girls around here are sociable. I suppose that's perfectly fine with me. I climb the stairs to the upper floor. Here, small corridors branch off from the main hall. Now, I'd like to point out, I've been in dorm rooms quite a lot, and this hallway, clearly this building is either an off season or not. This isn't like the middle of the school year, because usually hallways don't look this barren. You could definitely tell that whatever building they took this picture from was during an off season, or in some instances was probably when the school was closing. Here, small corridors branch off from the main hallway. Each of these minor halls seem to have a toilet and a shower, as well as 4 rooms. About halfway down the hall, I spy room 119. The nameplate on the rooms adjacent to mine are blank. I guess there are just 2 of us here. Oh, okay. That could also explain it, that there's not enough people to accommodate this area. But if you actually look, there's more rooms than what he mentioned. But, continuity is continuity. I don't give a shit. It's only a backdrop to what the actual story is about. Lights shine from below the door of room 117, so I knock lightly. Hello? Is anyone home? From inside, I hear a few movements, and then the clicking of way too many locks than I thought these doors had. After a moment, the doors squeak open. A bi-spectacled boy is standing in the doorway. He is looking at me very intently through his extremely thick eyeglasses.
Who is this? Who is it?
Blind? No, at least not completely. Why would he have eyeglasses if he was? He leans closer to me until our noses are almost touching. His breath stinks of garlic. Sao Nakai. I'm moving into the next room. I thought I should introduce His face suddenly brightens in realization, and he stands back, upright, thrusting his hand out in a smiling greeting. Almost straight to my diaphragm.
Oh, sup, dude? Name is Kenji.
Ah, hi. I take Kenji's sweaty hand and shake it, still a little rattled by the sudden change of attitude and a vehement welcome.
There were some suspicious-looking people going in and out of your room earlier.
It was probably my parents.
Your parents? You sure? 'Cause they could have been some other people, too. You can't judge a book by its cover.
His out-of-place proverb is left hanging between us awkwardly as I try to think of some way to respond. I'd say the chances are high enough. He shudders and makes an exaggerated hand gesture.
You're a brave man, Hisao.
Oh boy. I think we've got ourselves a winner here, guys. But we'll learn a little bit more about Kenji tomorrow. So take care and stay frosty.